was hoping that there are people like you.
Well, I was just thinking, like, that tells a story, and I'm always looking for, like, something that will stand out.
It does tell a story, yes. A story of how the Western world was tricked to go into war. That's the story. And also the story of how people don't want to face the facts even now, 8 years later.
Oh, yeah. People would rather live in illusion.
Because it's uncomfortable. Nobody wants to admit his mistakes. All the mistakes of his grandfathers. Or to admit that their grandfathers died for nothing.
Yeah. Because life without meaning is hard to digest.
But every nation has its own historical myth. For example, the Bulgarians have this cherished myth that they never lost a battle, which is not true, by the way. They lost many battles. I mean, but if you tell this to the average Bulgarian, they would be up in arms. And
why is that? Why does the average person even care?
Because this is a compensatory mechanism. For example, in the Russians, you could see this very clearly.
Yeah.
The Russians want to believe that they're great, precisely because they are not. Precisely because they're these pathetic people who are humiliated in their everyday life. Russia is a horrible place. I mean, the authorities give you no protection. You have to humiliate yourself in order to survive. You have to pay bribes. Your life is standard of living is low, and so on and so forth. And the compensation is, yeah, but the Americans fear us. We have nuclear weapons. We are great. We are the biggest country in the world. Putin will show them. I mean, this sort of thing.
Strong man. And people seem to buy into it.
Yes, because they need to. They want to. See, everybody.
It's an important thing. They want to.
Sorry?
They want to.
They want to. Yes.
It's not a need. It's a want.
Well, same thing. Same thing when you think of it. I mean, does a fatty eat because he wants to or because he needs to? Or does an alcoholic drink because he needs to or because he wants to?
It's a compulsion, isn't it, at that stage?
Well,
is it the same, the desire to be seen as strong, is that a need or is that a compulsion?
Well, I'm not a psychologist. I cannot split these hairs. I don't know the exact terminology. But the fact is that there is a connection between the Russian way of life and this imperial grandeur that they seek. And also there is a connection between every historical myth and the people of today. Actually, history is the present day life.
Yeah.
Turn to the past.
He controls the past.
Yes, exactly.
Or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
He controls the present.
What? Is that June? I don't know.
That's George Orwell in 1984. He who controls the past.
It's all regurgitated.
He who controls the present controls the past. He who controls the past controls the future.
Yep.
And we see this today. So, for example, this cherished myth that the slaves were black. Most slaves were actually white. That statistically has been proven. I mean, there are statistics on this. But the work of today needs more slaves to be black because this justifies their view of the world and their lifestyle and their claim to fame and their influence today.
It's interesting that you say that because it seems to, like, when you were saying that, I was thinking of there's this kind of, I wouldn't even say it's really a theory, it's a fact in psychology that when people experience trauma and pain,
I cannot hear you, by the way.
When people experience trauma and pain, it becomes a part of the identity. And what humans fear the most is death, but what humans fear a lot is psychological death. The idea that my sense of self will be eradicated, that's the ultimate fear, so we avoid it. That's why we hold up who we are.
Could be, I don't know, I haven't studied psychology. I've studied history though, and I can tell you that history is focused not on the facts, it's focused on the beliefs of the present people, on the wishes of the present narratives. There is a Russian historian, Ponosenkov, he also has expressed it very well. He says that every monument we erect to a historical figure actually is a monument dedicated to us. not the historical figure.
Yeah, because we identify.
Yes.
Well, I think that's what I was kind of getting to, is that it almost seems like nations, they don't want to get rid of their pain and their trauma. So you're saying that, you know, like the blacks don't want to get rid of this image that, you know, is
yes, but they
slavery.
pay a price. A very hefty price is to be paid for having mistaken beliefs, having myths. For example, this myth that Britain has always been on the side of the good and always has been powerful, this leads to Britain getting involved into pointless, needless wars that actually devastate Britain. I mean, take World War II, for example.
Seems like we're finally trying to...
World War II bankrupted the British Empire.
It seems to be happening in America right now as well.
Yes. Every nation suffers from this and pays a price for its myths. I remember there is a book I extensively quote by Patrick Buchanan, Churchill, Hitler and the Unnecessary War. And he finishes this with the myth of Churchill, that Churchill saved Britain, which is a myth. He never saved Britain. Britain didn't need saving. He ruined Britain. And Patrick Buchanan makes this case very persuasively. And he, at the end of his book, he connects this myth to how many wars since World War II Britain has needlessly went to, because it believed that World War II was a good war.
We all do. We all do. We romanticize it.
Well, this is the problem.
That's why we get so many films about it.
This is the problem, and this is why now the Americans goofed up with Iran, and before that with Iraq and Afghanistan, and the list goes on and on and on. Before that it was Kosovo. Nothing good comes out of these wars. I can think of only one good war during the last 100 years. Maggie Thatcher, the Falklands. Yeah, because Britain was invaded. If somebody invades your country, you kick him out. That's it. It's very simple. You go to war, and it was a short war. Not many people died. But most wars are not like this. Yeah. And Maggie Thatcher is not cherished here in Glasgow.
Absolutely not.
As you know.
People celebrate her death.
Yeah, what is it? Dig her hell, hand it to the devil.
Sorry?
Dig a grave deep enough that you can hand it to the devil herself. You know, that's...
Well, we cherish her in Eastern Europe because she was anti-communist. She had principles, and she was hitting the nail on the head every time. I mean, she was, for example, not many people remember now that she was the first mainstream politician who began to talk about global warming. And she was a conservative.
It's rare for a conservative, especially in Britain.
She was the one who made this subject mainstream. That this is a danger. She was on the, what's the expression? On the money every time. On the, what's the expression?
On the money. No, that's okay.
On the money, yeah.
It's funny, I find that so many things are connected. Like it's like religion, football, and politics, and
always the football.
Pardon?
Always the football.
I know, but it's such a.
I always see the psychology.
And it tends to be, you know, opinions in politics are connected to that. I dig the play down.
I noticed last time when I was filming, a lot of people get really angry about this. They see that image and they seem to have a kind of egoic reaction.
Yes. Well, some believe that I'm simply ignorant. I simply don't know who invaded Poland first. But others angry at the message.
Why do you think people are angry at the message?
Because it ruins their comfortable view of history. That's why.
Yeah.
For the same reason, a fatty is upset if you tell her that she is fat because she eats too much and moves too little. They don't want to hear this. They want to hear that it's their genes, that it's the processed foods. Some fatty actually on the American TV even said it's Trump because Trump is in power and fat. No, she really said this. This was a viral video.
People don't want to take responsibility. It's hard to.
Yes.
Then it means that we make that choice.